I'm going to go to Kerry, who's new to the show, and that's from the Shetland Islands. Good evening.
Well, good evening, Nigel. The first time we met, and I think the last time that we met was in a pub in Arundel over a nice pint of King and Barnes, where you told me and extolled all the virtues of leaving the EU, and I actually voted to leave the EU,
right.
But I'll tell you in a few moments. The reason why Boris is in Scotland is not because he is trying to woo the Scots. He is desperate, totally desperate. Now, I was a Conservative. I've been up here 11 years, right, in Scotland. There's lots of Brits, there's lots of English people living in Scotland, especially in Shetland. And I've got to tell you, I actually joined the SNP 2 weeks ago in frustration of what's actually happening in Westminster. Now, it was you lot that took us down the Clyde River, because I believed in you when I voted to leave the EU. But with all the facts and all the figures and all the evidence right now, you're going to take us down not the Swanee, you're going to take us down the Clyde.
Ah,
and I'm very upset.
So Kerry, you want us to be run by Mr. Juncker, do you?
Oh, I don't care about Mr. Juncker.
Really?
In fact, I'd much prefer to be run by that lot down there than the idiots that are running Westminster right now. To be frank with you.
There you are. There's the flag of surrender, Kerry. You're happy.
No surrender. No surrender.
But if you're happy to be run, by unelected bureaucrats, Kerry, why would you want an undemocratic European Commission to make big decisions over your life?
I think we've got an undemocratic government down in Westminster because in Scotland, 62% of Scots, or 63 almost, voted to remain in the European Union. You ask our velvet crab fishermen up here, how in the hell they're going to get their crabs all the way down to Dover and across the Channel? We moved up here from Hastings. I know the area like the back of my hand.
Kerry, you are joking, aren't you? You are actually joking when Scotland could have, just as Norway has, 200 miles of the North Sea as its own exclusive fishing zone. You are joking.
Well, that is just one reason. That is one reason why...
Well, you mentioned velvet crabs. No, I didn't start this, did I?
No, listen, this is one of the reasons I actually voted to leave the EU, because of the fishermen up here. But on reflection, how the hell are they going to get their fish and all their produce across the Channel when it's going to be absolute mayhem? Now, you guys have not thought about that.
Why, Kerry? Do you know, I don't know whether you've ever been to Southampton or Felixstowe and watched these...
Oh, yes, I've been there. I've been to Felixstowe, yes.
And you've seen then, Kerry, these giant container vessels coming in from China and elsewhere.
Absolutely.
We trade with them on WTO terms. And do you know something? Before you can say Jack Robinson, the containers are taken off those ships, put onto lorries and driven all over Britain. Why would it be different with Europe, just because we're not a member of political union?
Well, Europe's already got a trade agreement with lots of other countries around the world.
Not China.
Not
China.
Oh, never mind about China.
I'm talking about Felixstowe with you, Kerry.
Have we got a trade agreement with China?
No.
Does Britain have a trade agreement with China right now? No, they don't.
And the point I'm making is, without a trade agreement with China, those containers still come in and get distributed around the United Kingdom.
That might be just one case.
It's a big case. Come on.
Can I explain to you? How are you going to get the mussel fishermen up here? They grow mussels. It takes about 4 years to grow a mussel. How in the hell are they going to get those across the Dover Straits into Boulogne?
Do you imagine that we're going to put mines in the English Channel? There's going to be EU U-boats out there.
When we go up the Swanee or down the Clyde.
Kerry, I think you're becoming...
all these years.
I think you're becoming hysterical.
I believed in you at one time, but Nigel, I don't believe in you anymore.
No,
I don't
you
believe
want
in
us...
Brexit anymore, I'm sorry.
Do you stand for the European anthem, Kerry?
Oh, I don't stand for anything.
Right, well, I tell you what, Kerry, let me try this on you, right?
I play my own bloody anthem.
Let me try... Well, if you've got your own state up there in Shetland, it's wonderful. Kerry, let me try this on you. You're quite right to say that a majority, 62% in Scotland, voted Remain.
Correct.
Just as there are parts of, for example, London, that voted Remain.
Correct.
But by quite a big majority of nearly 1.4 million votes, the United Kingdom voted to leave. And Scotland very decisively voted a couple of years before to stay part of the United Kingdom.
Well, that might be the case, but in Scotland we're pretty happy to remain in the EU, because I did actually vote to leave.
But you're in the United Kingdom, Kerry, and it's a United Kingdom decision.
I tell you what, 5 million Scots, about 3 million Scots are going to vote to leave the rest of the UK. The Union has had it. Trust me, Northern Ireland's had it. Scotland's had it. We're leaving. Despite, the Scots are very clever people. Who invented the telephone? Who invented the railway lines? Who invented steam engines?
So for you, democracy, Kerry, is a very selective thing, isn't it?
No, it's not selective. We got a prime minister. We got a
mind
first
you,
minister
mind you. I tell you what.
She's our first minister.
She's outstanding, Kerry. She's outstanding.
We don't need Boris Johnson.
She's outstanding. She rejects the 2014 referendum on Scottish separation. She rejects the 2016 referendum on the European Union. I mean, she must be the most anti-democratic leader in the whole of the world. It's sort of North Korean type stuff, isn't it?
The UK, let me tell you, it's a great pity she's not the Prime Minister of the whole of the UK, because she'd shake it up a lot more than.
Why would a Scot who loathes being governed by the English as she sees it want to govern the UK?
Excuse me, how many Scots Prime Ministers have we had since?
Shed loads, and cabinet ministers, and running the BBC and half the city of London. They ran the empire.
They're very smart people, the Scots. They're a lot smarter than you lot down south, let me tell you.
Well, Kerry, I will leave you to your Highland malt or whatever it is you're enjoying this evening, and thank you for your call. You're listening to the Nigel Farage Show.